legacy.
What's up, everybody? Legacy back with episode 14 of The Climb, and we have a very special guest on the show today. Joao, say what's up.
Yeah, great. What's up, guys? First of all, thanks for having me on Legacy. It's always important to share some good experience with the community.
Yes, very, very excited because you were the first South American guest from the, or I guess the South SA region guest. Really excited to hear about you guys' community. So as the first question I always ask, introduce yourself and talk about your journey in mobile and how you got to where you are now.
Yeah, man. So I'm Joao, and actually I'm the head of innovation and mobile sports at INTZ. That is the biggest esports organization from Latin America. And in the last years, I've been working and getting some great experience running startups and technology companies here at Brazil. And of course, exactly because I've always been a mobile sports enthusiast. Last year, I've met the INTZ CEO, and at this moment, I saw the perfect opportunity of growing the mobile sports community that I really love in Brazil and help INTZ to be one of the best organizations from a business perspective. So that's it.
Wow. So talk about in South America, the region historically has had one of the biggest fan bases across the board, if not the biggest in esports in general, from Counter-Strike to Free Fire to any giant mobile or any giant game in general has had the fans love the games. What separates your region from others and why you're so passionate about esports?
Yes, Legacy. I usually say that we were born enjoying competition here, and it's interesting because we already had great fan bases, even when we look at traditional sports like soccer and etc. But I believe that people here have some kind of a different energy in our region because we know how to engage with esports and esports players. The community really loves to engage and talk with them. So exactly this potential to easily turn casual players and people into engaged fans is something that really separates us from other regions.
Okay. So I actually, a random fact, I did have a South American PUBG mobile team when it first came out, and their fan base was actually really huge, and my team was really small, so I can see why they adopt to the game so fast. So talk about how has INTZ developed itself in the mobile space. You mentioned that about a year ago you joined them, and so how are you guys separating yourselves in there, and what are you guys doing differently in the mobile space you think that's from maybe some of the NA orgs or even the EU orgs?
Oh, great question, Legacy. And we had some great projects in mobile sports scene in the last years. And now INTZ has teams in more than 6 mobile titles, but only after looking at Free Fire in the last year and being the first Brazilian esports organization to invest in the scene, is that we saw how much fans we could engage and how Garena, the publisher, would invest to make esports scene even more professional for this. And I really like to say that we always have two main objectives in the mobile scene and even others. The first one is to bring professionalism for this community know how to work really well. And the second one is that we really work to expand this community by bringing or inspiring all the great companies, organizations, and good people to come and invest and work on it. And that's exactly why when I talk that we are already in more than 6 games in the esports scene, we always have these two main objectives for both of them.
Yeah, so I think I saw some of the games that you guys were in. I think Free Fire is one of them.
Yeah.
Let's see, double check here.
Free Fire, Brawl Stars, Clash of Clans, Clash Royale.
So you guys are big into some of the Supercell games then as well. So
yeah,
how is the Supercell? How is like the SA community adapted and adopted the Supercell games? Because I know some of those are a lot different from the mainly like FPS kinds of games that that are really big in South America.
It's really new for us, but what we saw is one of the things I've already told you before is that we had a really great community of casual players with the energy of South American people. So we just split those two factors, and we entered these both competitive scenes with a lot of professionalism. So we've made a project here, understood if we could have some kind of returning on the investments, bring the best players from the scene that already was playing, but just for fun, and helping them to make the best results. So we would like to be, if we can, we almost always will be the first organization to invest some kind of professional competitive scene. So in the Brawl Stars, we are the number one of the Latin region, and the Clash of Clans, yes, we were, I think, one of the teams in the world with the most times going outside of Brazil to Poland, to the World Championship qualifiers. But yes, we look at the potential of turning casual players and casual people into really engaged fans or really professional players.
Okay. I love how you mentioned the professionalism. I feel like that's a really important thing. And you
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
also brought up like the ROI aspect as well. So as a
yeah.
whole, as mobile continues to grow, what advice can you give those entering the space from a casual player to pro perspective, as well as also maybe business side? Like, because now you're on the business side as well. Like, what kind of advice can you give to those people?
Man, mobile, it's just insane, and I love it. And the best thing I would like to say for those entering the space is to talk with as many people as you can from the mobile community. It's really hard. Always be professional since day one. And I like to say that in being a gamer, it's not enough anymore. It's important to have some kind of hard skills and study hard for it. Of course, it's just an example, okay? But if you want to be a manager, it would be good for you to study about project management. If you want to be a designer, you need to study about user experience, design person, etc. And one last thing, almost everything in the mobile esports scene, you can face that as a project. So yes, one of the at the beginning of each project we have here in new mobile esports scenes and etc. is to deal with it as a project. So we know if we would have ROI with that, if is it good, the fan base, the potential of being a franchising system, and there's a lot of points, but these are my, how can I say, the most important advice that I could give for those entering this space.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I love the fact that you bring up, like, if you want to be a designer, really study design and UX and all that, and really explore the space that you want to get into. Because I feel like you're right. It's not enough to just be a gamer anymore. You have to have
Yeah.
more not, I'm not just saying the total package, 'cause not everyone has that total package, but something else that just always have to provide value as well. And I feel like that's very, very
Yeah.
important. And that's something that almost everybody has brought up, and I love the fact that you continue to bring it up as well. So with Free Fire, you mentioned Free Fire was like your guys' big game, and obviously it's huge game, hitting massive numbers for streaming. What has this game and the community been like for you guys, and why is it so successful? And talk about your guys' team.
Legacy, Free Fire is all about accessibility, and that's exactly why it became this huge success here at Brazil. And the purchasing power of Brazilians in general, okay, it's not one of the greatest when when compared to other regions. And then Free Fire came with this concept of running in almost every mobile device. So we like to say that Free Fire finally broke the barrier of the $500 that you needed before to have a great PC or mobile device to play other games. and that's the main point about Free Fire as a game. But as I said before, INTZ were the first organization here to invest on Free Fire esports scene, and we have some of the best players here. They all have been playing since the beta phase of the game.
Wow.
In the Free Fire Major Championship. Right now, we are fighting for the
Oh,
championship
wow.
again, and we are one of the top 1, 2, 3 in each week. And the finals will be happening in the next month.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think we're doing a very good work here.
Absolutely. That sounds amazing. Is there do they have a main YouTube channel or a Twitch channel that we can watch it on?
Yes, our main platform is at the YouTube channel, so you guys can search for it, INTZ Free Fire.
Absolutely.
And it's really interesting because only for Free Fire we have some kind of separated channels of communicating with the community, because we have a separated Instagram only for our fans for Free Fire. We have more than 1 million followers there at the Instagram.
Wow.
And at the YouTube channel, I think I don't even have to say how much success the YouTube has and relevant it could be for mobile esports scene. But it's nice to say about Free Fire. They are some kind of different word for us.
That's amazing to see that is, and it's mobile. That's the crazy thing about it, is mobile. Like, you guys, it's hitting such massive numbers. But I think if you add the aspect in, like what we talked about earlier, was like how the Brazilians are so passionate about their games, and then you bring in the aspect of how accessible it was. Like, it broke the $500 barrier. Like, not everybody can go out and buy a $1,200 iPad or a $1,000 phone or like a $1,500 computer. So I think Arena was so smart in developing something that was accessible for everybody, and gave players that, like we mentioned, or you mentioned earlier, that were casual, an opportunity to become pro. And I think that's such a great thing that the developers did. And I wish you guys the best of luck. I'm going to definitely be watching to see how you guys do. Another big game that is dropping in your guys' region as well is the alpha of Wild Rift. And
of course.
have you played it? If you have played it, what are your thoughts? And if you haven't played it, have you seen some of the footage? And how well do you project that this game is going to do, not only in your region, but across the whole world?
Yeah, Legacy. I'm really paying attention on it. But White Rift is just awesome, and I'm not playing it right now at the alpha, but I have a very, very special chance to test it in December of the last year in the Comic-Con Experience event. So it was very close. Yeah. It was very close for a very close group that had this chance. But I was there. I loved it because I actually pay to like League of Legends. But INTZ is one of the greatest champions in the history of Brazil when we talk about League of Legends. So we know how well Riot Games can develop a competitive scene. So we really would like to make part of it with Riot Rift. And we already have confirmation that we will be working very closely to Riot in the next phases of White Rift testing and even launching steps. And we will be there.
Oh, that's amazing to see. Amazing to see. Now, I'm wondering how the mobile version of League will differ from the PC version, because obviously the PC version, Japan and the Korean teams are dominating the world right now, and they have been for the last few years. I hope that the mobile version gives more hope for the Western side of the world, and hopefully we can go out there and smash everyone. I feel like the South America region right now has such an advantage because they get to play it before everyone else. They're going to learn like different strategies and metas. Do you feel like that with Wild Rift coming to mobile, do you feel like there's any people from PC that may jump to mobile? Or do you think that they're going to stay on PC?
Oh, I really think that there will be some kind of cross-platform players coming from PC to mobile, but I don't think that will be the main thing happening. I really believe some kind of people coming from AOV and just going to play Wild Rift. I really think that people from mobile will be at mobile, but if Riot Games is doing something so good for mobile, I think that it's going to be the first time that people that never had the chance to play something that they like it will be playing it. So people that plays League of Legends, I don't think they are even interested in
No,
playing some kind of
probably
mobile
not,
games
huh?
here.
Now that I think about it. I
Yeah,
think it's mainly going to be the people from Arena of Valor, Mobile Legends, and Vainglory that are going to play. But
yeah,
it makes an interesting point because I remember in like the one of their dev videos, they said the gameplay they showed was on like an older iPhone. So that
yeah.
accessibility factor you're talking about is definitely going to be there for this game as well. So massive opportunities in the space. So I forgot to put a question. I always
No
end
problem.
on the if you could be a professional player in any game or a content creator and streamer, what would you be and why?
Um, who who are gonna be or why are gonna be? I didn't understand.
So would you rather be a pro player in
Or,
any esport
or
or a content creator, like a major content creator or streamer?
yeah, I think from my point of view, I would like to be a competitive player, pro player.
Yes, finally some more
Uh,
pro players. Everyone else wants to be a streamer.
yeah, streamer is really good, man. Content creation is really good, but I don't know. I like to win. I like this competitive way of living and
Mm-hmm.
to work harder, train harder. I know that streaming it's really hard. You need to work well, but I would be a pro player.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's great. Now I know how competitive INTZ is. Like, you guys are gonna be probably trying to tear down everybody in every game, which what seems like you're already doing. So can we get or do you have any final thoughts and advice? Anything that we missed that you might have wanted to touch on, talk about INTZ, or talk about anything else that you wanted to basically elaborate more into?
Great legacy. So thanks again for having me on. My final advice, but my final advice here is for you that would like to work with mobile esports. The first advice is consume good content, just like this one here, the client from our friend Legacy, and study a lot, man. Bring your passion for esports and game, but you need to be professional and have hard skills too. And I don't know, look at the games and scenes that you would like to work and see how if it has the potential to turn the audience into engaged fans. I think the main points I've already talked you guys, but that's it. Let's do this even bigger because mobile
Absolutely.
sports has an incredible potential from my point of view.
Well, I appreciate you being on the show. Thank you for everybody for watching and listening. I am Legacy for Critical Points in the Climb, saying thanks for watching and peace.
Peace, guys.